Okay, I'm going to start. If you guys are new in the queue, welcome so much to our call. If you guys don't know me, my name is Nadi. And by the way, if you have a phone number that's 407 calling you, that's me. It's not a telemarketer. And I just want to say hi and welcome. We have some amazing guest speakers today. We have Kathy and Gina. And Kathy and Gina have been with LuLaRoe since February of 2014. So they're amazing. They're a partnership. They've known each other because they worked in a direct sale company before LuLaRoe. And honestly, they're so sweet and kind. They're both coaches. They have a team of over 300 ladies. So I'm so happy to have them here with us today. And they're going to talk about a little bit about communication and partnerships and any other tips they have. If you guys can, they're going to be able to answer any questions, but just if you can let them have a few minutes to chat and then go ahead and ask them anything like. Kathy and Gina, are you guys here with me?
Yep, this is Gina. I'm here. I'm not sure if Kathy got on.
Yeah, Kathy's on. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we hear you.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you, Nadi. That was so sweet of you to introduce us so kindly.
No,
that was.
To have you here. And I know it sounds kind of strange too, but we, this is kind of like a weird topic, but also too, I really like the fact that you ladies are a little bit more mature, and we have people in our team that are more mature, and it's so nice to be able to hear, also too from y'all that have been doing this for a while, your perspective on it, and how it's been for you. Because a lot of people always say, "Oh no, LuLaRoe's like 20s and 30s. It's not for people that are
right, right."
Do you get that?
Yes, definitely. And Kathy Campbell here speaks a little old school, so we like. Fake it till you make it is what I tell everybody in my age range. All good stuff.
Oh, wow.
So let's talk about this partner business. Gina, do you want to start us off?
Yep, I'll start. And I'm audio only because it's kind of stormy over here, so a little reprieve right now, but I didn't want to be on a webinar and then drop off suddenly. So Kathy and I live in the Kansas City, Missouri area, and Kathy was actually my upline in our previous direct selling business. We actually both come from backgrounds in education, so it's kind of fun for us to pair the skill set that we learned in direct selling with a different skill set, from teaching and share, I guess, as we roll through this LuLaRoe journey. And so it was nice to be asked to share about effective partnerships. These are our thoughts, the who, the what, and the how of effective business partnerships. I'm going to cover the who, and then I think Kathy is going to cover the what and the how. So we would recommend that, if you are in a partnership or engaging in conversation with people who are considering a business partnership with LuLaRoe, that they ask themselves these questions. Who will we be as a business? So what's our vision for ourselves as business partners? Why did we choose LuLaRoe as the vehicle for business partnership? That could be specific things like, how will we operate our pop-ups? Will we travel to them together? Will that be, all of the time that both of us will be present, some of the time? If it's only some of the time, does that mean that we will need to work to build up to 2 working inventories? Will there ever be a time that we are both working an event at the same time? How will we approach paying ourselves? So will we take some sort of a salary, and under what timeline? Is that going to be monthly, biweekly? How will we approach repaying ourselves for the, I think the assumption is in a partnership that people come to the partnership 50-50. They've each contributed half. So is that considered an investment for, until further notice, or is there a goal to get it paid back? Other questions, what will our beliefs and commitments be as a partnership? Kathy and I love the phrase, bring your A game, so that we like to operate under that mentality, which is we each commit to, working the business to very similar degrees of effort. And maybe that is something that people need to clarify and identify for themselves first, since they are partnered. So technically it's not a full-time role. We recommend, or we've adopted the belief that we should meet on a regular basis and have a defined business agenda. So we have weekly business meetings, and we believe that those are things that hold us accountable to ourselves and to each other. And they help us with keeping progress checks on our goals, you know. So if we've set something that's a pretty lofty goal and we figure out halfway into it that it's maybe not something we can achieve in that time frame, we can modify. But it gives us a way to stay on top of things. We would recommend committing to some norms for your business that will, you know, like the more conversation that people can have in advance, the more open the communication can be, the easier.
Gina, can you hear me? Gina? Hello?
Did we lose Gina?
Oh, yes.
Hello. Well, Kathy's here. Are you back, Gina?
Yeah, I got muted. I don't know what happened.
It was me.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Well, anyway, so I was talking about committing to business norms. So, you know, if that conversation can, all of these things, if they can happen prior to a business being up and rolling, it's just going to be easier for the business partners throughout. So, you know, for example, you know, are there some non-negotiables like, you know, do you want to set some norms about how you hold a business meeting or how you approach conversations that, you know, it should always be a safe place to share how you're feeling and whether things are going according to what you envisioned. Maybe, you know, the business doesn't want to operate like sell product on Sunday or, you know, certain pricing structure that they want to stick to, stuff like that. We also believe that we've adopted the mindset that the business is bigger than either of us. And so when we ask questions, we kind of ask them to each other from the point of view of, is this move good for the business? And I think, you know, obviously we knew each other prior. Usually people are going into this with someone they have some kind of relationship with, but, you know, if they're not accustomed to having to flex or compromise, you know, that's critical, because if the business is the priority, then, you know, sometimes it needs to be one person's idea and not the other that you have to pick. Open line of communication all throughout, and we can't emphasize this enough. Have this kind of conversation before you have to have this conversation. So what does open communication look like? What is, you know, how will it be that, you know, it's the first 5 minutes of your business meeting, like airing any issues, or will it be just as it becomes necessary? So for us, we don't put it into our business agenda, but we also absolutely know, you know, if there's something that needs to be brought up, we're okay with bringing it up, and that we care for each other, you know, and we want to continue. And so we want to make sure that things get smoothed out if there's any rough patch. Let's see, and then clearly defining your roles and responsibilities. So this is kind of quirky, unique thing about the two of us, and we didn't really know it until we got further into the business, that if you think about the 4 lens colors, the orange, gold, blue, and green lenses, between Kathy and myself, our primary and secondary lenses cover all 4 of those colors, which is kind of crazy, but also fabulous, because it's been pretty easy for us to identify, you know, and play to our strengths to maximize business success. And so if that's not the case, you know, and let's say it's 2 people who are, I don't know, gold, orange or something, you know, at some point they're still going to need to find a way to assign, you know, like recognize the responsibilities and the things that need to happen, even if it's not something that's their favorite thing to do, because it's got to get done. So Those are my
Right.
comments. Kathy, you want to tag off of that with the what and the how?
Sure. So what to do with a partnership, whether you have somebody signing up or perhaps a few people on the call have been through this already, you know that when you get an application, there is an applicant and a co-applicant. So what generally happens there is that somebody needs to take the lead in the business according to LuLaRoe. When we filled that out, I believe Gina took the lead as the applicant. I was the co-applicant, but then somehow our that application also takes one social security number. So just know that when your partnerships, one way to explain this is when you sign as an applicant and co-applicant and one social security number, if they team build and they get paid by LuLaRoe as commissions for team building, then the 1099 will go to the applicant. It will go to one social security number. Now that's you know, it's not that that person has to claim all of the earnings. However, it's pretty easy to then turn. So it may show that that applicant earned $10,000 that year from LuLaRoe, but they could turn and 1099 the partner for half of those earnings. So it's doable. You can figure this out, is what I'm saying. Consult a tax accountant. A little over a year ago, that's how we started, was applicant, co-applicant. We were around the 200th consultant in LuLaRoe. We were the first partnerships that we knew of that made it to leadership, where they had to, you know, figure out the commissions checks, and it was a little sketchy then that they're, you know, the naming of the check and such. But since then, we did form an LLC. So if your partner team that's going into business still, you know, decides to go for the LLC first, then they would just enter as their company name and an FEIN number, as opposed to a single social security. Now, if they choose to do that later, then they can always just submit that to LuLaRoe and make the change, which is what we had to do. And still, at the end of the day, things run through your business, but then you still divide up your profits, and those are personally applied to your personal taxes at the end of the day. Also, let's see. So when you do have a partnership and it comes to naming your business, you want to remember to coach people that they are not to use LuLaRoe in the title of their business in their LLC. So our title in our LLC is Skirt Around Town, but we do not use the company name. That name is obviously taken. But however, when they name their social media group, the correct way to name your social media group, such as Facebook, is LuLaRoe first name, first name. So we are LuLaRoe Kathy Gina on the on our Facebook business page, on our closed VIP group, as well as emails and such. So it's LuLaRoe first name, first name. The P&P may not be the policies and procedures for brand new people. They may not be completely updated here. And if you get partners inquiring about the business, it has been stated several times. So just try to be clear about those guidelines. Just like a single person is LuLaRoe first name, last name, and then partners LuLaRoe first name, first name. The one thing that Gina and I did right out of the gate was we opened a joint checking account, a joint business checking savings account. And what we do there is, Audrey, is everything's 50-50. We decided early on that we could conquer more separate. So we completely divide and conquer. We had been in other direct sales business, so instead of going to 8 parties a month together, we'll do 16 parties a month because we each do our own calendar. Now, what that entails is that we both have to, book our own shows. we each have to have our own inventory to work from. What's nice is if we're low in something, then we might collaborate on, I'm going to a party and maybe I won't take Perfect Teas at night because Gina takes them all, you know. So the sharing piece is very nice, but we also have to watch our schedule. And the way we do that is through a Cozy Calendar, COZI, which is an app and a family calendar that we can both place dates of what we have going on. So we know also that if we're 4 shows in a row between the two of us, we may need to be placing an order 2 weeks in advance of those 4 pop-ups happening. So between the joint banking account and then keeping a joint calendar, those are just easy business tips. We also make sure
you guys must talk all the time to keep track of who's doing what. Well, that's a great tip on the calendar.
Yeah. It's nice to pull it up on just an easy app on your phone and change and switch things out. And we can keep our partner meetings on there as well and other things with the team. So just one of those family calendars. The marketing supplies, your business cards, we have like one of our names is up in the left-hand corner and my phone number and email, and then in the right-hand corner, her name, phone, and email, and then, our combined business pages and such also on the card, because you don't need separate. You want to think smart when you're combining your business, that you're not ordering supplies separately, but that you can, share your business cards and such. Let's see, what else can I share with you? Forming good habits early. You want to be really on top of record keeping because there's 2 of you operating, and some partnerships will operate together, and then like us, because we separate and operate separately a lot, then we've got to be able to come back, combine our sales at the end of the day. So we both keep hard copy receipts. And even though we run everything through Audrey, we have a backup, which is our hard copy receipts, and says what we sold. We use a program. We use QuickBooks to keep track of our inventory. My color in the lens is not green. Gina's is. So when it came to bookkeeping, I was never afraid to hire help in that area. So we do have somebody that comes in once a month and cycles us through our QuickBooks. So they'll allocate, they'll take control of the checkbook, expense what we, have written checks for, and then they'll go through our receipts, my receipts, her receipts, make sure that everything ran through Audrey smoothly, and checks and cash as well. So keeping records is really important when you're working a duo, because you need to know what the other person's doing and then bringing it back together and to be able to report it to your business. And it doesn't have to be QuickBooks. It could be Excel. As long as you're keeping track of your inventory, what's going in, what's going out. If I'm going to keep 17 items in the last box, then I need to write down that I'm keeping 17 items. Just so that your partner knows what's going on. She can have a few too. That's okay. Let's share documents. We use Google Docs because those are things we can share with each other and edit and such. So that's a good, definitely the Google Drive and sharing docs is great. And our email, using the same email for things coming in and out of, but we also have separate emails, but we do have a business one. And, rewards and incentives. That's the other thing. Now, remember, with LuLaRoe, you're considered one consultant. A partnership is almost like job sharing is one way to think of it. So you have to remember when it comes to rewards and incentives and awards, that just as they would gift you one item, they would gift you one item. So often partnerships purchase a second, because it's not that you didn't both earn the trainer watch together, but LuLaRoe presents one 2-year partnership. So then for $150, you can purchase a second trainer watch. It doesn't make it any less important that, you know, we are considered a one partnership. Another good example is birthday leggings. You know, if they sent out 2 pairs this year, great. Well, there's been other years where one came, and, you know, I frankly decided they would be cuter on Gina. So that, you know, we're not owed more of something from our company because we are 2 people, and we are basically considered one consultant. So that's and cruise qualifying as well. You know, you earn a cruise for 2 people, so you all can go together, or you can figure out another plan of you know, how to purchase another cruise or make that happen. And we're happy to open it up for questions. Gina, can you think of anything that I skipped over there in the what and the how?
I can't, but I want you to know that we're under a tornado watch, and I hope that your family is going to pull you to the basement if needed.
Okay. I'm not hearing sirens. I keep hearing hail, but not sirens.
Okay. It was 7 highway, so that's closer to you than it is to me.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
Okay, sure. Oh my God, I can't believe this. So scary.
Yeah.
Wow.
Stinks.
I wanted to ask.
That's the Midwest for you. That's the Midwest for you. Is there anybody on the call that's from the Kansas City, Missouri area, or anywhere in Missouri, Kansas?
I don't think so.
Okay. Or Midwest, we have a Super Saturday coming up if you're driving distance from Iowa, Nebraska, Oklahoma, anywhere in the Midwest. You're welcome to attend with us. And we do monthly team meetings as well, and we open that up to everyone.
Thank you.
So
I wanted to ask you guys, you know, because really at the end of the day, you know, a lot of us have significant others or spouses or someone that's trying to support us in our business. And I wanted to ask you, like, when it comes down to working as a partnership and when it's time for you to need help, how was it for you to say to that person, like, how did you approach them saying, look, I really need you to help me here. I need you to help me back. You know, how did you overcome that when you were first starting the business?
Are you referring to asking our spouses for help or asking our partner?
Either way, I'm guessing with
okay.
the kind of expected a little bit more, but you know, even then, I'm sure there was times where you're like, oh man, I hope she doesn't get angry if I ask her this.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I'm probably the one who did the asking. So this is Gina. I had a full-time job when we started, and I was a teacher. So between, you know, 7 o'clock and 4 o'clock, I was working that job and feeling like, keep your eyes on your own 2 feet. So I was in the classroom, so I needed to be focused on the kids in the classroom. And this business took off really fast. And, you know, here came new team members, and here came lots of, you know, sales just, you know, from all directions, and lots of stuff to manage. And that, you know, we had to talk about that. Like, what's that going to look like? Kathy, can you take the lead while I'm at school? And so, I mean, it really goes all the way back to laying out some of that stuff, like having conversations about things before you really have to have conversations about them, which is the open communication. You know, can we bring this up and know that it's coming from a place of kindness? Like, we want this to work. We want it to be like a legacy kind of a thing and last as long as it possibly can. And so, you know, you have to have the tough conversations sometimes. And, you know, if you're both putting forth that same or similar amount of effort, then what does it look like for the other one? You know, so for me, it was, I would get up earlier so that I could do some of that work at 4 o'clock in the morning. Because then I had to go to bed to get ready for the next school day kind of thing. So,
wow.
Yeah. But Gina's a worker, remember. We just happen that, you know, I have 3 kids at home. I'm a little older than Gina, but my children are younger, and her children are out of the house. And I have a 12, 14, 17-year-old. So, but then when she'd get off at school, then she'd start her LuLaRoe gig. So it would be one tap in, one tap out for a while. And then I'd pick up at 10 o'clock because she went to bed at 9 o'clock. So it's, you know, believe me, I never felt that she didn't carry her weight in gold, especially because of her colors. You know, she's just better at so many things than I am. And, you know, I would hope that I have some strengths that she doesn't have. But
Heck yeah, right?
but
Heck yeah.
definitely, you know, we'll easily text each other and go, okay, you got this one, not up for it today, you know. So if you have a little bit of drama on your team, you know, I'm the one that is the blue person that will generally tap in and listen a little while and then offer suggestions. So, you know, it's a blessing that we can identify who's best at what. And if you are the same colors, then just identifying where you need the help.
Yeah, I'm definitely a blue. I'm a nurturer.
Yeah, right?
Oh, it's so hard.
And it's hard for nurturers not to be rescuers. Yes! So that's,
yeah. I definitely learned the balance. But anyone have questions for these wonderful ladies? I mean, they've been around for such a long time. I feel like almost like I have a bajillion questions. Anyone want to ask them?
okay.
It's pretty bright.
It's late. It's late on the East Coast. I know you guys are ready for bed.
No.
Hi, I kind of have a question.
Yes. Is that Stephanie?
Hi, it's Katie.
Sure.
Hey, Katie.
Hi.
I was just wondering if y'all could please link the color lens test thing to us so that we can work on it on our own.
Hi, Katie. I actually have them in our group. Is this Katie Holder?
Yes, Katie Holder.
Oh my God, girl, you sound different. Why are you talking? You just had surgery.
That's why I sound different. I'm sorry.
Just had her tonsils taken out today.
No, my gallbladder taken out.
Oh, it was a
Oh my
Oh,
God.
man.
Yeah, just a few hours ago.
Whoa.
Yikes.
You know,
You're
girl,
not even
always
going to
gotta be working.
remember this call.
That's okay. But yeah, I've been wanting to establish my color because everybody keeps referring to it, but I forget to look for it.
I put
Okay.
in our team files, and Gina and Kathy, in case of anything, I actually uploaded them into the coaches group, and they're in the files there too, the photos.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, Katie. Sorry.
Hey.
I think the hardest part is when you look at them, when you look at the images, like I explained a little bit about how to test yourself, but just to be honest with yourself, don't look at the pictures, you know, for me. I kind of, you know, when we're mothers, we kind of tend to go look at one image more than the other. I started more looking at the descriptions. So I kind of did the opposite way. And I read the back first, and that's how I was able to find myself. How did you ladies do it for Kathy and Gina? Did you guys look at the pictures?
You know, I've looked at both, and you know, you do kind of cross over a couple of different areas. So I consider myself both an orange and blue, but boy, I read that yellow and I wanted to be a gold. I wanted to be a gold so bad that you can almost talk yourself into another color if you don't admit to yourself, you know, that no, that's not happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For those of you on the phone, gold is very organized, okay? That was
I'm a blue.
what I strive to be.
Oh no, this is what happens here. You see my desk, I'm not organized. But how has it been since, you know, because you guys started when there was only 200 consultants, and I'm sure there's been a ton of changes since y'all started. What you said would be, you know, I guess the challenge of, you know, growing with the company. How did you overcome, you know, any kind of challenges that might have happened?
Audrey was a big challenge. So that was tricky. At first we couldn't figure out, you know, running transactions simultaneously. We couldn't really tell like whose was whose and how do we know if they're all there. And so there were some bumps in the road with that. I would say, we are lovers of the live pop-up. How we started. We've not really wavered from that. So Kathy does do some online selling in our VIP group, you know, with Facebook Live, but we, I guess we try to continue to do something. You know, I think every business should, whether you're a partnership or not, right? Try something new so that you're not stagnant. But sometimes you try it and then you kind of wish you didn't try it, you know? So I would say those things for us relate to online selling. You know, we've tried some things that we didn't really love. And in the end for us, it's the joy of the, you know, the self-confidence ambassadorship, you know, like watching someone walk a little taller and feel a little better about herself because she was just validated by a room of, you know, people that she cares for, that care for her. And, you know, there's not really a substitute for that. But yeah, I would say that's some of the stuff that we've found tricky. That, and how do you continue to, I mean, the teams get bigger and bigger and bigger, and how do you continue to reach and relate to folks and provide them opportunities to learn? So that, you know, like what you're doing here is really cool, you know, because you're getting everybody an opportunity to listen, maybe on their own time frame. But yeah, I think just trying to stay ahead and always try something new.
I mean, it's, you know, a lot of times too, I think at least so far for me, it's tons of things that happen. People like these things, and then all of a sudden there's other cool things going on, and people like those. And I think that I'm wondering if it's the same for you guys, but I feel like almost a lot of times you have to kind of be, like you said, like kind of real and realize what you like to do and how you like to run your business, and say, you know, those things are fine and they're fun, and you want to try new things, but at the same time, it's, you know, you have to kind of be honest with yourself. Like for me personally, I hate doing online parties. I don't like doing them. You know, I don't mind selling in my VIP, in my regular group, but I don't like having to have, you know, engage all these people in this online party. And, you know, it just, I don't know, I just think I do them, but I try to do them minimum because I really don't like to do them.
Right.
When I started, they were like the thing. Everybody had to have online parties. And so be able to say, you know, I mean, it's worked. The company started from doing in-person sales, right? You know, there was no online at all. Was there any online when you guys started?
Right. None. There was no online.
There was like, you could buy things from the LuLaRoe's webpage.
Yes.
Yes. That was it.
At a higher price point than all the rest of us sold, and it would just be like a couple different Amelia's, you know, Amelia patterns or whatever that they had held back, and then eventually they pulled that, you know, because people began to sell their own stuff through their Facebook groups.
Right. Right. But, you know, we went out there and trudged and explained what LuLaRoe was, and people would look at your racks really weird with all those colors, you know, because there was no organization to all the patterns hanging on your rack, because there's just no good way to do it other than by style. And yet that doesn't, you know, looks like a circus at times until you really get in there and investigate and know LuLaRoe. So, you know, we were our own ambassadors, trotting the ground and hauling it out. And then we definitely recognized the growth of the company because of online selling, and when we call it online selling, Facebook selling. And, you know, so we made some adjustments because, you know, our own team members, some of them were strictly online sales. We were learning. And so Gina and I gave it a try. You know, we've done some multi-consultant sales. We've done some pop-ups. We gave it a try, and we know how to do it. We can explain how to do it. And at the end of the day, you know, maybe I'm an old dog and new tricks, but 3 days to do online sales is not the same as closing out a party in 3 hours. So, you know, there's more physical labor, but give it to me. My body can use it I just, you know, I don't have the, but then again, we know that there's a lot of people blessed by online sales as well. But I still believe that your community is where you need to start, because that's really who comes back to you at the end of the day and spends more money.
Yeah. And I mean, seeing a woman like come out and just look at herself in the mirror for the first time in a row, like, you know, just see her and the look in her eyes, like, do I like this? Can I get away with this? You know, and it's just awesome.
Yeah.
There for that moment, you know.
For sure. For sure.
Mm.
That's the best part. Yeah, well, are there any other questions? We sure appreciate you having us tonight.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys. Anyone have any questions before we hang up? I'm sure you guys are okay. You're probably used to it, but Toast is like really super scary. And I hope you're safe. And thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us about, you know, your experience with the partnership. You know, how it's really a lot to me.
You bet.
So thank you so much.
You're welcome. We're fading out a little bit, but we are LuLaRoe Kathy Jean online. If you have any thoughts later that you'd like to message us about, please send us a message. And thank you, Nadi, for hosting. We enjoyed it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Have a great evening. I'm going to sign out.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.